Hi, welcome to one of hopefully 52, so many weeks are already here, weekly check-ins. I made resolutions for the first time, I think maybe ever. I don't know if I've done New Year's resolutions before, so here's to hoping it sticks. If it doesn't, oh well. But yeah, I have a couple of resolutions that involve like doing stuff every week. And also, I have a terrible sense of time. I don't actually know how long a week is, or like how long an hour is. So I was like, maybe if I actually do something once a week, I will get a sense of how long that is. So here is my check-in. My resolutions are pretty simple. I wrote them down and I've been keeping track. Realize that's probably gonna be flipped. But yeah, I have 2 resolutions that are like calculable, that have like a yes or no, you did this. And then I have a couple like general aspirations that are not calculable, just general, try to do more of this. So my 2 are go outside every day and 35,000 weekly steps. Weekly steps weekly. So in a week, add them all up, see what we get. And then my general aspirations are to be more active, spend less time on my phone, the evil hellbox that I'm currently recording on. So part of that is like using more analog devices, and to read more. So for going outside every day, great success. We did that every day except for today. But that's because I'm gonna go get groceries after this. And I'm gonna do a little walk. Went outside every day, and my weekly steps this week were 52,260 actually. But I was on vacation, so I did a lot of walking. That is not usually how many steps I get, with a highlight of 14,629 on the 3rd. We walked a lot. Yeah. And then for the general aspirations, then a couple things. I found an iPod Nano in this apartment. Sure. And it does work. I turned it on and it worked for a second, and then the LCD screen immediately ate it because it's just so old. So I went to go get the screen replaced, and hopefully I should have that back soon-ish. And when I have that back, I think alongside with the check-in, I'm going to like upload music and upload my podcast every week onto it, so I'll have like a set thing with all of my stuff to listen to, that I don't just go like scrolling on my phone for something to listen to. And I have a little bit more like curation and like awareness of how much media I'm consuming. So yeah, I'm excited to have that and to not just be on my phone all the time, especially on like commutes and stuff. Yeah. And then I'm gonna go over everything I made this week, everything I studied this week, and everything I read this week. So for make, I got really into oil pastels, which is really weird for me. It used to be like my least favorite art supply. I actually hated it. And then my mom got me some for Christmas, and suddenly I was like, wait a damn minute, this is actually really fun. I don't know why I hated them before. I think I just like couldn't get them to blend. This is also really bad. I was doing a lot of blending and I didn't have like linseed oil or like baby oil or anything that I could like use to really like spread out the pastels. So what I did have was a latex shiner. So I was using that. Worked awesome. Has like a couple of issues, but it did the job, so I'm not complaining. So no one tell anyone that it's latex shiner. What else? Oh, I got into Bics. So I'll be at the Brooklyn Independent Comics Showcase. I think it's April 17th and 18th. And I kind of shelled out and I got a table in the main room. So hopefully that goes well. I think it's good motivation to like keep making stuff. And I have half of a comic about cowboys that I wanted to finish at the end of the year last year and just kind of didn't know what to do with it, so I left it alone. And I think I know what I want to change about it now. So I think April's a good deadline to get those done. So hopefully Cowboy Comic debut at Vix. We'll see. I submitted to 2 open calls for art, and I have 2 saved that are due like late January and early February. So I think I want to make one more print for one of those. Actually, there's a 3rd one I totally forgot about that I do want to submit to. That is like self-portraits, and I think I want to draw my sun guy, because that's me. He's just like me for real. But if I run out of time, I think the self-portrait is okay. I have a version of what I'd like to submit, so I'll maybe submit that if I don't get around to doing like a nicer version. And then I did a bunch of museum sketches in Montreal with Brenna, because we went to a bunch of museums and like the Biodome and Insectarium, and I love drawing in a museum. It's so fun. They're so bad. But yeah, that was everything I made this week. For studying, the semester hasn't actually started yet, but I have been doing a little bit of genetics homework today. I'm taking genetics and physiology and their labs. So it was just going over like Mendelian genetics and the basics. I finished 1 chapter. I have another chapter to finish tonight, and we should be all set. And then I was looking at applications for internships and like shadowing and volunteering. It's really stressful. And I know I just have to get it done. There's one application that's like halfway done. I think I need to write a cover letter tomorrow and hopefully just send that out and not think about it. So fingers crossed for that one. And then I did a lot of reading. So I finished Annihilation and Strange Houses. I read in like an hour and a half in one night, which was really fun. And then I'm in the middle of Absolution, but I feel like I want to go back and reread it actually. Like I feel like I've kind of lost the plot, because I think I read the 3rd book of the Southern Reach. What was it? Authority, Acceptance? I think I read it too fast, because I was like so obsessed with it when I was reading it that I was like, I'm too excited to read this. And I think I need to reread it and get a better understanding of what happens in the 3rd book. There's a lot of like flashbacks, and then come back to Acceptance. So I don't know if I want to do that next and commit to reading Acceptance again. Or I've started The Hobbit, because Ksenia got me the most beautiful set of books of the Lord of the Rings. And a bunch of my friends are reading Lord of the Rings, and I feel left out and I want to join. But they've already read past The Hobbit. So I was like, I started The Hobbit, and they started with like the next book, which is The Fellowship of the Ring. I don't know. So I'm like, do I want to read The Hobbit, or do I want to just skip to The Fellowship? I don't know. But also, Brenna got me The Princess Bride, and I have never read that, and I kind of want to, so I just don't know what to choose next. If you have suggestions, let me know. But yeah, and then I've been reading a lot of manga, because I downloaded the Shonen Jump app, and I've actually been loving it. And so I started reading, what was it? Magie Lumiere? It's about like, what if magical girls were like corporate, and it's been really fun and really well written. Ichi the Witch updated, that is gorgeous, and everyone's in the cuntiest outfits, and I'm obsessed. And the 3rd one, I think, was Oter the Flame. Just beautiful art. I don't know how people do Norse mythology so well, but they really do. And yeah, I think that's everything for the weekly check-in. I'm gonna go get groceries, but I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. I love you. Bye.